to the Drew Fish Band and Funk Monkey for their help with our open. Drew Brees, not Drew Fish, but Drew Brees, going to the locker room, getting set for this one. Same for Dak Prescott, his counterpart. Should be a fun one tonight on Thursday night. Now, welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Joe Buck. That is the Hall of Famer, Troy Aikman. And this is some matchup, man. I know everybody's been talking to you all week about this matchup. The Cowboys have won 3 in a row. Saints have won 10 in a row. What do you expect to see here this evening?
Well, it's interesting because the Saints are playing so well on offense, and then the Cowboys, of course, are playing great on defense. And there's been this notion throughout time that defense wins championships, but yet I think right now when you look at the teams that everybody's picking as the favorites, it would be the Saints, it'd be the Rams, it'd be the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's a statement game for the Dallas Cowboys and a chance for them to show that a great defensive team is capable of going toe-to-toe against an offense like this, and they're going to need to if the Cowboys are going to have a chance.
Well, along those lines, let's go inside the numbers. It's presented by Tide. Now, last week, the talk around the NFL was the game that happened the prior Monday night, that pinball game between the Chiefs and the Rams out in L.A. The scoreboard was lit up, and you see how it ended. Now you look at the top 5 offenses around the NFL to this point in 2018, and you see the Saints joining the Chiefs and the Rams. Now you look at the defense, and you see where these 3 are defensively. Kansas City's all the way down at 30th, but of those 3 high-scoring teams, well, look at what the Saints have done the last 3 games. Jim?
Playoffs?
Yeah, no, we're not.
About
Okay,
playoffs?
thanks. Yeah, thanks,
kidding
Jim.
me?
Yeah, we're not
Playoffs?
kidding. Defense wins championship. Troy already put a pin in that one. But I think the point is that when you talk about the New Orleans Saints, of those 3 crazy high-scoring teams, talking about the Chiefs, the Rams, the Saints, I would say at least statistically the Saints have the best defense to this point in the season.
I would agree, and I think if you put the Saints defense up against defenses across the league, they're playing as well as anybody right now, and a big part of that has been their run defense. And you look at the job that they do in not creating gaps. That's where you get hurt within the run game, and Sheldon Rankins is playing outstanding. Cam Jourdan, known as a pass rusher, and he's great at doing it, but he plays the run very, very well. And so these linebackers, I think, have gotten better as the year has gone along, and they are playing fundamentally sound. Don't look at their ranking. Look at what they've done over the last 3 to 4 weeks, and they're playing really, really good football.
I strenuously object to that. I strenuously object to that. Colonel Jessup's already been on the air. How good can this night get? We just don't know. It remains to be seen. We'll send it back to New York. And
what's up, everybody?
There they go. I mean, it's like the opening shot of Reservoir Dogs. Those guys just walking into position. We get ready for this matchup here tonight in Arlington, Texas, and the faces of the guys inside those helmets. Going to be fun. Good matchup going in. The studio.
Strahan is the saint of perpetually being on television. Howie Long is the saint of having a perfectly trimmed crew cut. And Terry Bradshaw, well, he's just a saint. He's my childhood hero. Can't mess with a good old Louisiana boy.
Harry Connick Jr. has a point. You can't mess with a good Louisiana boy. Welcome back to Fox Square in New York City. We're outside with some excited fans. And you know what? In New York, they light up Christmas trees this time of the year.
Right.
And a lot of Christmas tree lightings, and you decided to bring us a tree yourself, TB.
Right, I did.
So we're going to light that up?
Yeah. Let me tell you about the tree, Mike. That tree is from the Arbuckle Mountains in central Oklahoma.
Arbuckle
It's
Mountains.
196 years old.
Okay.
Full grown. Notice how it's kept its youth. Same as Drew Brees and Tom Brady. That's what that tree represents, okay?
Arbuckle Mountains. Where are those?
Arbuckle Mountains, actually in southern Oklahoma. Right north of...
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Gainesville.
got it. All right. Well, you know what, you guys? Tree is lit. We're ready to go with that. But
Gorgeous
it's time
tree.
to play the game Entertainment Weekly calls an instant hit. That's right. It is time for Which Team?
Who from Entertainment Weekly called it in?
We made that
I really
up.
don't want to play
I'll
this
read
game.
you a question. If you get it right, you get 1 point. You get it wrong, -2 points. May the best man win.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck.
Now, the answers are the Saints
luck.
or the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dallas or New Orleans.
Good luck.
Here's question number 1.
Saints.
Which team's quarterback as a boy defeated future tennis Hall of Famer Andy Roddick?
Drew Brees. New Orleans Saints.
The Saints. I'm glad you got that.
You only get one guess.
Okay. Which team did Homer Simpson dream of owning?
Dallas
Saints.
Cowboys.
Yeah, how you got that right? That's right. Which team's first ever play with a kickoff return for a touchdown?
Saints.
Hey, there you go, TB. You're on the board.
97 yards.
94 yards. Yep,
Oh,
by John
wait.
Gilliam.
He gets that wrong now.
He got it. He got the
He
yardage
was in the
wrong.
90s, all right?
He
Buckethead.
tried to add on when he didn't
Exactly.
know. Which team's kicker was the first to have a 60-plus yard field goal
New
in
Orleans.
NFL history? Yes, the Saints. Tom Dempsey, 63 yards.
Hold
There
it.
we go.
That, which was, by the way, challenged by a lot of people because he had a half a foot.
I'm amazed with what you know. Which team is the only team to lose the Super Bowl but still have the Super Bowl
Cowboys.
MVP? The Cowboys. Chuck Howley, Super
Yeah.
Bowl
Wow,
5.
that's a good one.
Yeah. In New
Oh.
Orleans, by the way, against Denver.
Okay,
Here we
pipe
go.
down. Okay.
Which team plays in a city that houses not only the International Bowling Hall of Fame, but also the
New
headquarters
Orleans.
of Mensa?
I beat you, Howard.
You're both wrong.
Oh,
The
we both
Cowboys.
get minus 2
It's in
points.
Dallas. Mensa. You always
No,
say you're a
no,
member of
We
Mensa.
both got it wrong.
But you always say you're a member of Mensa. Here we go.
Oh.
Here we go. Final question. Which team popularized the term Hail Mary Pass?
Cowboys.
Cowboys. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Bradshaw's excited, but Howie Long still wins.
Whoa, how does Howie
Go
win?
figure.
Hey, we're not gonna argue.
Wait a minute.
You act
how
like
did
you-
Howie win?
Well, because that's how it worked
We
out.
both got it. What?
TB, just stand over
Just
there
'cause you're the
and
host
take
doesn't
your
mean you're
medicine.
right. You understand
Take
me?
your
I'll talk
medicine.
to you later.
Howie,
your loss.
your
No.
grand prize, you get to pick first. Who you got in the game?
I'll take the dwarf tree. I'll go with the New Orleans Saints on the road.
All right, TB.
Saints, of course. I'm from Louisiana, Shreveport. Come on.
All right.
Saints.
Well,
How about you?
I'm with you guys. I heard somebody over there said, I'm going to say, who that going to beat them Saints? Nobody tonight. I'm going with the Saints.
It is.
As well.
That makes me nervous. That makes me
Watch us
nervous.
now.
Hey, we got to thank you guys for being
Thank
out
you
here
all.
with us.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you again at halftime, everybody. We're going to go back to Joe and Troy and Dallas. Take it away, fellas.
All right, Michael, thank you, and welcome back to Arlington, Texas, and AT&T Stadium. The lights pop back on, and we go from the field. Brought to you by McDonald's. Aaron is first up. Aaron Andrews, Drew Brees has thrown touchdown passes to 13 different players, but you talk to the guys that he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass to so far this year.
I did, and first off, I spoke with his quarterback's coach, Joe Lombardi, to just ask him why has he had so much success. Lombardi's saying, look, he knows where, he's so aware of the defense, he knows where to funnel the ball. Lombardi did joke around and say at every single practice, he works with every guy on the offense, and I mean every, to make sure they know which route to run, and Lombardi thinks to himself, we're never going to run this, and they end up doing it. You mentioned it, Joe. Who's left? Who needs to catch a touchdown? Taysom Hill, Dwayne Washington, maybe Brandon Marshall, who hasn't been active since he signed with the Saints, or somebody from the offensive line. I did speak with left tackle Teron Armstead, who is out tonight, and he said it's probably going to be Taysom Hill, but if it's anyone from the O-line, he said it better be me, just not tonight. All right, for more on the Dallas Cowboys, let's send it over to Christina Payne.
Thanks, Aaron. Well, if anybody tries to tell you that this is just any other game to the Cowboys, yeah, don't believe them. Jason Garrett gave an all-time speech last night to his players, and he was so fired up that the guys were still buzzing about it in warm-ups. When I asked Dak Prescott about it, he smiled and he said, I'm not sure if I've ever seen Coach like that before. He said, and it wasn't even the message, it was his energy. He said it was so real. I think he wanted to put on a helmet and come out and play today. Michael Gallup, their receiver, told me Coach wasn't focused on last week. He wasn't focused on practice. He just wants us to come out and play free. He said he was so amped up and the players were so energized that everybody was screaming when it was over. He said, I think we should have played this game last night, Joe.
Instead, Christina, it's on a Thursday night. Thank you very much. And here in Arlington tonight, they honor your 1993 Super Bowl championship team.
Great to see these guys. Eddie Murray, Eddie Money right there. He's the one who made it happen for us week 17 against the Giants. Larry Brown, a Super Bowl MVP, and some of these guys have kept themselves in great shape. Some of them have been eating the product that's sponsoring this show, McDonald's. And I'll tell you what a great group of guys that is.
All right, so we go from the 93 team to this week's edition of Timeless.
checking out the great Ricky Jackson.
Bob Lilly, a beast, yo.
Morton Anderson, one of the best to ever do it.
The great Deion Sanders.
I'm watching Will Smith make big plays.
Captain America, Roger Staubach.
Deuce McAllister, big back, fast back.
Greatest running back ever, Emmitt Smith.
Anything that can wreck their game plan. Blowing up running backs, eating the quarterback.
He has a higher motor, hopping over cut blocks. Oh, geez. To be that tall and athletic is hard to match.
Set the standard for the kicking game for a long time. Ball gets up quick, nice rotation. He's in the Hall of Fame for a reason.
You can tell he has extreme confidence. He said, I'm going to go up there and challenge you every single play, and he got the best of a lot of guys.
Like, once he snatches you, like, he's going to finish you. And if he found any weakness in you, you were done.
He's somebody that I look up to. A guy that's going to put it all out on the line for his team, and I think he exemplifies what this game's about.
Running away from people, running through people, running over people. I've always been a supporter of me since I've been here, so I appreciate him. And I appreciate his game.
Well, you see his vision, you see his patience, you see guys just bouncing off of him. He's finding that last guy he has to beat so he can hit that home run, and that's what made him great.
And there is plenty of appreciation for the stars of today toward the stars of yesterday. When we come back, time to kick it off. Good matchup tonight on Fox.
To the following presentation of the National Football League.
Smooth sounds of the NFL on a Thursday night. Brought to you by Bud Light, AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, and glad you're with us this evening. Spanish language broadcast is available tonight on Fox Deportes. And we get set for kickoff. We'll give you a little throwback Thursday. And here's Drew Brees in 1995 at Old Texas Stadium for the 5A state championship. He made it look easy even back then. For Austin Westlake, 55-15. That looks like a score in 2018, Aikman. And I'll ask you this. I don't care what team's taking on the New Orleans Saints right now with what Brees is doing, the offense is doing, the creativity. My question is, what does Dallas have to do to hang in this game?
I think what happens a lot of times when you're an opponent and you're facing an explosive offense like the Cowboys are with the Saints, that you then start believing you've got to do more. And you've got to score every time you have the ball and try to keep pace with this explosive offense. And I think that leads to really bad things. So for the Cowboys, they've got to stick with the game plan and the formula that has gotten them to this point and has allowed them to win the last 3 games. And that's that man right there, Ezekiel Elliott, running the football, allowing the offensive line to do their thing, play action passing with Dak Prescott, and let their defense play. This is a really good defense. Can they hold up? We're going to find out, and I'm excited to see it. But if they are not able to, then you make those necessary adjustments. I expect a lot of Ezekiel Elliott early in this game.
You know, you think about the Saints and all the offense, and you think it might be a high-risk, high-reward situation for Drew Brees, but they don't give up sacks. They're tied for the fewest in the NFL. They don't turn the ball over. They run the ball a lot. You know, you've got a bust in Canton, Ohio. I'll ask you, have you seen a guy make it look that easy on offense in all your years in this game?
Well, rarely does he ever put the ball in harm's way, and it's the reason why he's only thrown 2 interceptions, and your point is well taken. You think back to Mike Martz and the St. Louis Rams and how explosive they were. They turned the ball over a lot. You just simply don't see offenses doing what the Saints are doing and then being as protective of the football as they've been.
And the other point, not only did they turn it over a lot and they were so fun to watch, but their quarterbacks got pounded, whether it was Kurt Warner or Mark Bulger. Yeah, that was down the list of priorities, and they protect Drew Brees, and the ball gets out fast.
Yeah, and they're without their left tackle again tonight in Teron Armstead, but Jamon Bushrod has stepped in. He's done a nice job. You could make a case for this offensive line of New Orleans being the best in the game.
Well, after all that said, the Dallas Cowboys will start with the ball. The Saints won the toss. They defer. Cowboys start with the football. And Will Lutz will kick it away. Man, a boomer out of the back of the end zone and out to the 25. Comes the football, and here's this young man who is 28-15 as a starter in the NFL, but over the last 3 games, the numbers are terrific. 6 total touchdowns because that mixes in his 3 rushing touchdowns over the past 3 games.
Well, I think when you look at Dak here over the last few weeks, everyone wants to credit Amari Cooper for everything, but I think he certainly brought a confidence to Dak Prescott to where he trusts him, and he's played better.
The #1 rush defense in the New Orleans Saints bottles up Zeke Elliott after a gain of 3 as Alex Okafor is in there for the stop. This is a Saints defense. It's allowing only 73 rush yards a game, 26 last week, but part of that is because the teams they play are in such a hole. They don't run the ball.
That's a big part because there have been teams that have run the ball well, but they just get taken out of the game because they get behind so soon.
First throw, pass is caught. It's Amari Cooper, already a fan favorite, but short of a first down by a yard. Marshawn Lattimore is out there, and we'll see a lot of Lattimore on Amari Cooper. It's the number 25th ranked offense in the NFL. A lot of changes up front, and for the 2nd straight week, Tyron Smith is out. Cameron Fleming gets the start, protecting the blind side of Dak Prescott. 3rd and 1. Elliott picked it up. Looked like he slipped a bit when he first got the ball, but got his footing. Says feed me, has 2 and a first down. And a good block in front of him by Cameron Fleming. Here's the Saints defense. There's that #1 ranking against the rush. 15th overall, and that guy 98 is really becoming a force.
Yes, he is. And you start talking about guys like Geno Atkins in Cincinnati and Aaron Donald with the Rams and Sheldon Rakins. I'm not saying he's that yet, but he is having an outstanding season, and he soon will be.
Prescott throws low for Beasley. So 2nd down and 10, and on that play, Jourdan Lewis, who is a defensive back, a corner, was in on offense. He likes to handle the ball. He was good in high school in Detroit, has a couple of carries this year, was out running a pattern and was not looked at by Prescott.
Yeah, not much there, and Cam Jordan making his presence felt there at the left defensive end position, going through Lel Collins, rolling him right into Dak Prescott, which created the errant throw.
Here is Elliott, not much. 3rd and long coming up. Anzalone, who was taken over in the middle for the New Orleans Saints, in on the stop, a gain of 3.
You're going to see Anzalone in the way that he fills this gap, and this is going to be key. I talked about it earlier, the job that these linebackers have done. Zeke Elliott is so patient in how he runs. If you do not fill every gap, he is going to find it. So it's imperative that the defensive front, they do their job, and these linebackers fill the hole like Anzalone just did.
3rd down and 7, blitz, ball's out, pass is caught, and a flag on the play. Gallup with a brilliant catch. The call is against the Saints, and the 14 yards will stand. What a catch that was.
That was a great catch. He's able to lay out, they get pressure, they bring the blitz.
Defense, the penalty is declined, result of the play is a catch, 1st down.
We bring P.J. Williams off the edge, and he's close, and Eli Apple is the man who's in coverage, and he has the penalty, but I know Sean Payton wants him up in press coverage and feels that he's a target when he's off, and he was playing off coverage on that play.
Couple of first downs for Dallas. Here's Elliott. Good play. It was Bell off the edge. Von Bell crashed down. A gain of just 2.
Von Bell is a safety who they certainly like. He rotates in a fair amount with Kurt Coleman, but he's around the line of scrimmage, and it's not surprising to see him make that tackle. He's second on this team in tackles as a safety, so he is around the ball often.
Guy who had 4.5 sacks last year, led all defensive backs in the NFL, doesn't have one yet. They fake it to Elliott down the sideline. What a throw! Gallup inside the 10.
This is the guy for the Cowboys that they tend to take these shots with. Michael Gallup, it's just a straight 9 route. Up the sideline. This time Eli Apple is up in press coverage, and he's just simply not able to keep pace with Gallup.
A 40-yard completion. The ball sitting at the 6. Elliott tried to go outside, cuts it upfield to the 5, a gain of 1. Von Bell again with Demario Davis, and here's that 40-yarder to Michael Gallup.
Yeah, you got single high safety, so Prescott knew what he had, and then with the press coverage, it makes it simple. Gallup just has to win.
Looked like Prescott was looking for Elliott. He got bumped, and the pass is incomplete. Schultz in the back of the end zone.
It looked like a lot of contact there on the back end. So now you look at this, Joe, and now with it being 3rd down, I know that the Saints, prior to a couple weeks ago, they were not good at all in the red zone and keeping teams out of the end zone. And Sean Payton said, I do not want our red zone defense to become our Achilles heel. Since that time, going into the Philadelphia Eagles game, they've been really good. The last 2 weeks, they have stopped opponents 3 out of 5 trips down here. It's a big 3rd down this early in the game.
Prescott in trouble. Down he goes. And a big stop for the New Orleans Saints. A 1st and goal from the 6. The left hand is cut for Dak Prescott, and he goes off to the sideline on 4th down.
Well, it's man-to-man coverage, and it's good coverage everywhere except on Ezekiel Elliott. Anzalone is the one who's responsible for covering him. If Dak hangs with him, he maybe has a chance. But here comes the pressure. That's a great job by the Saints defense once again down here in the early going to force a field goal.
Maher from 26. While the Saints red zone defense has improved, the Cowboys, it struggled all year. Number 23 on the season. And they stall inside the 10. The 40-yarder set them up, but the Cowboys come away with 3. He doesn't live downtown. He lives just off downtown. His name is Troy Aikman. Happy to be with him. Happy to be with Aaron and Christina on this Thursday night. With the Cowboys now up 3. Taysom Hill, good decision or not? Cost him a few yards. Got across the 20, didn't get out to the 25. A return of 26 yards. Back to that 3rd down play.
Well, you're going to see the double on Amari Cooper with Marshawn Lattimore and then Marcus Williams, and so they take him away in the red zone. Then you got to find somewhere else to go with the football. Prescott a little late getting off that look, but then Onyemata there to make the play. You see the blood then on the left hand of Dak Prescott. Shouldn't be a factor at all. Interestingly enough, Joe, it's the first time since October 14th that the New Orleans Saints have trailed in a football game.
Down by 3. Good jump up front. I think that was Woods. Pass is broken up with coverage by Anthony Brown. Keith Kirkwood was the target. And the great, and I mean great, Drew Brees, who is a Texan, Here are the numbers this season, and the completion percentage would be an NFL record that Drew Brees set way back in 2017.
The fact that completion percentages have gotten to where they have is really pretty astounding.
He's 0 for 2. Michael Thomas. And good coverage on Michael Thomas by Wouzier.
Yeah, Wouzier, they're going to play physical with him. He's got a size advantage, and just try to disrupt the timing as best they can.
Third down and 10. Pass is nearly picked by Jourdan Lewis, with Kamara the closest one to it. And that is a 3-and-out, and only the 15th 3-and-out by this Saints offense all year.
They fortunate there. Drew Brees, you just simply do not see that from him very often when he just recklessly tries to throw a ball out to try to make a play. It almost cost him, but a drop on first down and then 2 really good plays with pressure on Drew Brees. You don't see many of these 3-and-outs, like you said.
You also don't see a lot of these punts by Morstead. And a drive that took under 30 seconds. 57-yard punt, but his leg is well rested. And why not? He was down there to help on the tackle. Cowboys have it, second time up 3.
Fox Sports app.
Well, it was a stall in the red zone for this Dallas Cowboys offense, but it's been a turnaround the last 4 games. It coincides with a lot of things that happened during the bye week, not just getting Amari Cooper, but making a change on the offensive line and in the coaching with the offensive line.
Well, there's Mark Colombo on the right. Of course, Travis Frederick, who has not played this season, but I think the change to Colombo, there was a comfort level with him. He's familiar with these guys as a former player, and went back to doing the things fundamentally that they had been doing before, and we've seen the improved play as a result.
Here's one over the middle, caught by Elliott on first down, and Ezekiel Elliott good for 7. Demario Davis, who's busy in that Saints defense, and their top tackler made the stop.
I think when you look at Dallas, Joe, and there's a lot of reasons why the offense has been more productive. And yes, I believe Amari Cooper has helped them, but he has not changed how defenses are playing this offense. They're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try to stop Ezekiel Elliott. Their improved play in the offensive line, the ability to run the football the way they're accustomed to, has been the biggest key.
Elliott stumbling, and they're going to give him enough for a Cowboy first down, but a flag is down back at the 36, and it's against Dallas.
Holding, number 71, offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
The guy who's probably benefited the most with the change to Mark Colombo has been La'el Collins, who just got called with the holding penalty. He's an aggressive player. A lot of that was taken away. He was having a hard time really with the technique that was being coached. You see him there, 71, and that's a hard block. It's a reach block. Didn't see a whole lot there, actually, but it is a hard block to make on that backside when a defender is pursuing. But he's played better here over the last 2 to 3 ball games.
So it takes a first down away and makes it 2nd and 12. Elliott, there's that hesitation and the patience. He gets 6. A.J. Klein with the tackle.
And there's really not a lot of guys that are able to do that. There's a fine line between hitting the hole too fast and then not hitting it fast enough. And when you watch Zeke Elliott, he has that slow, patient, methodical, get to the line. And then when he hits it, though, that's why it works for him. He has so much of a burst that when the hole opens up, bang, he's through it. And he's got great power, too. He has shown that.
Extra man on the rush, and a sack for the Saints defense on Yamada. So the holding call that was announced against La'el Collins, they changed it to number 73 with the official stats. It's against Joe Looney. Took a first down away, and eventually the sack here by Onyemata.
Well, they bring Von Bell off the edge, and that forces the left tackle then to go block him, and it creates a lane for Onyemata. And for a guy who really didn't pick up the game of football until after he got out of high school. He has been on fire this year. He is essentially a starter, even though he's not listed as one. He's having a heck of a night so far in the early going.
Here is Kamara, gets swallowed up by Kayvon Frazier. And after a punt of 51 yards by Chris Jones, a return of 1. Saints have it, second time, down 3. Saints history, arguably, I guess you have to say, in today's world, before Brees showed up in 06. The great Archie Manning. And then Mr. Hebert, who was fun to watch. Bobby Hebert, the Cajun. Handoff is to Kamara. A gain of 4. Anthony Brown with the tackle. Let's talk about this offense and where they rank. Top 10 in both the rush and the pass. And as you said earlier, a very good and maybe underrated offensive line, and without their starting left tackle.
Really good offensive line, and when you think of the Saints, you really think of Michael Thomas, Drew Brees, and the big pass plays. But this is an offense that is built really around the running game in a lot of ways, more so than the Cowboys.
Handoff is to Ingram. Crawford was there to make the stop. It'll bring up 3rd down. And this defense, statistically, really the only area where they've struggled is 3rd down defense, but I guess that gets a so what, because they're good in points against. And then the takeaways, although they had 3 against the Redskins a week ago on Thanksgiving, and that rookie at linebacker Leighton Vander Esch has been great. Not good, great.
Been unbelievable, and you kind of wonder, he's hardly come off the field since Sean Lee got injured.
3rd down and 6. The pass is incomplete for Michael Thomas. With coverage downfield by Byron Jones.
Yeah, Byron Jones in perfect position and great ball placement by Drew Brees. I thought maybe at first he had caught it. And I was going to say, how in the world? Of course, Michael Thomas is saying he did catch it. There was never a shot that we showed that suggested it was not caught, but the official was right on top of it.
See if Payton throws the flag, and he is. Thomas is the one that made him do it. Michael Thomas went right to Sean Payton and said, I caught it.
Well, here's a good angle here.
New Orleans is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
If they can piece that together right there, it didn't look too bad.
Remember, the call is incomplete. It's challenged by the Saints. Here's the best shot where you see the movement of the football, and even though Michael Thomas made Sean Payton challenge, the ruling on the field stands. The announcement was made during the break by Walt Anderson. So only 1 challenge left for the Saints. Second punt from Morstead. And a fair catch of the 15 by Beasley. And we'll be right back after this from Verizon.
Hey, Joy.
Hello, Thomas.
Hey, what's the worst part about paying for things you don't want?
Paying.
Exactly. And what's the best part about getting things you do want for free?
Free stuff.
Precisely. That's why Verizon decided everyone in the family should get the unlimited they want without paying for things they don't, and why it now comes with 6 months of free Apple Music.
I like music.
Hey, look at that. I like popcorn.
Oh, didn't even ask. How dare you?
This holiday, get the gift you want, the music you love, on the network you deserve. Switch now and get $300 off our best iPhone.
So the time of possession so far, Dallas has had it for 7:51. The Saints for 1:54, and we just saw history, Troy. Drew Brees has never started a game 0 for 4.
Isn't that remarkable? I mean, 0-4 is not that bad.
It is unbelievable.
Especially when you've played as long as he's played.
Guys played for 48 years. Here's Ezekiel Elliott on 1st down, picking up 7. Here's tonight's players to watch, presented by Charles Schwab. And we highlight the 2 top running backs, Ezekiel Elliott, who's already been busy. Kamara hasn't been involved yet. They've thrown in his direction once. and he's rushed it one time for 4 yards. 2nd down and 3.
Ezekiel Elliott, he's gotten more involved in the passing game too. Kamara has been ever since he arrived in New Orleans, but recent weeks Elliott's had a lot of opportunities.
Flag is down. Gallup's got his 3rd catch, but a flag in the secondary. We'll see who it's against. It's a hold. The play will stand. Another completion to Michael Gallup.
Well, so far here in this early going, they're going after Eli Apple.
Defense. That penalty has declined. 1st down.
They've been putting Marshawn Lattimore to Amari Cooper, and then this has been the matchup so far, and the Cowboys have been able to take advantage.
Well, Eli Apple was a 1st-round pick by the Giants in 2016. He was traded to the Saints at the deadline. There's a reason he was available. It's not like the Giants are awash in great defensive backs. Trying to get his footing with the Saints. Pass is caught by Noah Brown. His 2nd catch, and that big-bodied receiver, former Ohio State Buckeye, has got 9.5. Demario Davis with the tackle.
Noah Brown ran a route last Thanksgiving, and he's not a guy who catches many balls. That's just his 2nd reception. He ran a comeback, and it's one of the best comeback routes I've ever seen. And
wait, what?
That's right. And he generally is a blocking wide receiver at 225 pounds, and he has more ability as a receiver than people realize. Eli Apple was on him on that play, and he comes up and he misses a tackle.
Elliott for the 1st down. So what you're saying is Dak Prescott gets to the line, finds where Eli Apple is, and then throws in that direction.
Well, that's what it's looked like when they've been able to split out Michael Gallup and Marshawn Lattimore. Hey, that's what happens when you're playing opposite a good corner. I witnessed it in Dallas when we had Deion Sanders. You target when you go into a week and your game plan, and you say, who's the best corner? And then invariably you're going to try to go after the other guy. And the other guy for the New Orleans Saints is Eli Apple, and that's without question who they have targeted here in this 1st quarter.
2.5 to go in this 1st quarter. 3-0 game. 3rd possession for Dallas. Prescott passes caught by Cooper. Amari Cooper for 14 and a 1st down inside the 40 to the 35, working on Lattimore.
Yeah, now how good is that route? These things, when you are able to get a guy like Marshawn Lattimore turned around to where his back is to the ball, you've run a great route. And we see that weekly from Amari Cooper.
Pretty good fake. Here is Elliott. The fake has everything to do with this. To the 20. Little sleight of hand by Dak Prescott and a completion of 15 yards.
Well, it's kind of the new thing in the league. We've seen it more and more this year. You're going to see what the movement does and how it then moves defenders, and it creates some space, and it gives blockers then an angle on that screen pass coming out the other side to Ezekiel Elliott.
Prescott throws. Beasley's looking for a flag, won't get it, although there's a flag to the near side. Coverage by P.J. Williams, but it's not on that. It is to the near side, away from the football.
Prior to the pass, holding number 25, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Eli Apple again.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether it was going to be on Eli Apple or Noah Brown, and he's just, it's a corner right now that's not playing with any confidence, and he knows that he's targeted, and when you start to lose confidence, you lose your technique, you're not playing fundamentally, and you start grabbing. He's been grabbing too much here in this game and has been called for it.
Flag 3 times, Eli Apple. Here's Rod Smith. Goes backward. Tomorrow on Fox, a Pac-12 champion will be crowned as number 17 Utah battles number 11 Washington. And on Saturday, number 6 Ohio State, number 21 Northwestern go toe-to-toe for the Big Ten title. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern tomorrow and Saturday on Fox. and the Fox Sports app. Total yards, you see the difference, but all the Saints are worried about right now is 3-0. That's the score. Back inside the red zone of the Cowboys. 2nd and 12 now. Trying to set up a screen. They do. Elliott, touchdown, Dallas. A catch and run of 16 yards, and the 3rd of the year receiving wise for Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, the screen game is all about timing with the back and the linemen. They're able to get Joe Looney, number 73, and then Zach Martin, 70, and they make 2 key blocks. First, Martin's able to kick out. Looney gets the other guy who would have been in a trail position, and just a free lane then for Elliott.
And it's a 10-0 game. Ezekiel Elliott, 5 touchdowns over his last 4 games. And they have been feeding him just like he likes it. We'll be right back after this from Progressive.
These people, they speak a language we cannot understand.
Deductible?
Definitely speaking insurance.
Additional interest on umbrella policy?
Can you translate?
Damage minimization of civil commotion.
When insurance needs translating, get answers in plain English at progressiveanswers.com.
He wants you to sign Karen's birthday card. It's a high honor.
Well, the New Orleans Saints came into this game with 14 3-and-outs all year. They have been dominant on the first possession of the game. They've gone back-to-back 3-and-outs. By the way, they came in with the 2nd fewest in that category across the league. And it's only the 2nd time all season New Orleans has had consecutive 3-and-outs in the same game. And with that, Dallas has taken advantage. Looked crisp on offense and lead 10-0. Good start for Dallas. On both sides. Taysom Hill from the end zone. Flag is thrown. Hill back to the 22-23, and Troy's throwing his stylus from the telestrator down. Every time there's a kick or a punt, you just look up and you expect to see at least 1 flag, and there are 2 down there.
There always is. They've talked about even removing this part of the game from the game, and I'm all for it as many times as we see flags thrown.
So we'll get the call here.
During the return, personal foul, illegal double team block, number 42, receiving team. That's half the distance to the goal. First down.
Former SMU Mustang, Zach Line, the fullback. Mike Pereira is with us, and they get Line for that double team block.
And Joe, this is one of the new rules, the kicking rule, that you cannot double team block with 1 deep receiving team member and 1 that started in the box. The only 2 that can double team are the guys in the original setup zone, and that's why that was a foul.
So Line and Justin Hardy came together, and that moves the ball back to the 9. A toss to Kamara, trying to get some traction on offense, and a good start to this drive as Alvin Kamara gets 6. Awuzie on the tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. In case you're wondering, the most consecutive incompletions in a game this season at any point for Drew Brees is 5. That was week 4 against the Giants. He has started 0 for 4.
Yeah, which isn't totally surprising when you think about him and the year he's having at 76% completion percentage. You don't get that when you have runs of a lot of incompletions, but this has gone as well as the Cowboys could have hoped for.
2nd down and 4. Brees is bouncing off a defender and finds Dan Arnold, who was the leading receiver for the Saints a week ago, and the former wide receiver, now tight end, gets 5, and the first down for the Saints of the game. 16 total yards in the first quarter, the fewest in any quarter for this top scoring Saints offense all season long. And it was the day of Game 5 of the 2018 World Series in LA when Boston won the World Series. The last time the Saints were trailing in a game, they're down 10-0. Pass is incomplete for Mark Ingram. And these Dallas defenders are flying all over the place. And you said it early, they have been challenged. Any defense is, but this is a good defense, a young defense that wants to prove a point here tonight.
Well, all week long, all they've heard about was how explosive this offense is for the Saints. And you can bet Rod Marinelli, who he preaches flying to the football, playing discipline, sound. And when you look at them across the league, this Dallas defense plays from snap to whistle as hard as any team in the game.
Here's Kamara, gets one, and getting through there was Antoine Woods. The first hands on Kamara. Christina, been a good start for this group of Dallas.
Absolutely, and you guys mentioned it, all the talk this week. Even DeMarcus Lawrence made headlines talking about this Saints offensive line and how this was a do-or-die game. But in pregame warm-ups, he told me no more talking. I am locked in, and he has been all business throughout this game. You certainly sense the seriousness and the intensity that this defense wants to bring tonight.
They're down at 9. They've surrendered 1 first down. That's it.
This has been one of the best third down offenses for the last 10 years with Drew Brees as their quarterback. They haven't converted one yet tonight.
Third down and 9. Pass is caught but short of the first down. Kamara brought down immediately by Jourdan Lewis. So 1 first down on that possession, and these Dallas defenders have been right there when needed.
Well, they've been there. There's been no yards after the catch when they have been completed. And the other thing that Dallas has done, it's one thing to get edge pressure on Drew Brees. He's so good at stepping up in the pocket, but they've been able to collapse the interior part of the pocket and keep him from getting comfortable.
Flag is down just to make Troy smile on the punt. And Beasley is out of bounds at the 22. And it's a hold against the Saints. So Walt Anderson will jog over to Jason Garrett and ask him what he wants to do. A 53-yard punt. Do you punt it again or tack it on at the end?
Prior to the kick, holding number 31 of the kicking team. Dallas has elected to enforce the 10-yard penalty from the end of the play. It'll be first down. Timeout.
It's against Chris Banjo. Part of the Saints defense. But the story in that first quarter, as big as any part of it, the Dallas defense. Cowboys have it up 10. Bud Light. Another possession for the Dallas Cowboys, leading by 10, starting at the 32. Elliott. Little stutter step. You and I don't do a ton of Steeler games. I think it's noticeable when Le'Veon Bell would do that in a Steeler uniform. And it is noticeable with Elliott. Everybody else seems to be in such a hurry. But Elliott will let things develop in front of him. And he got a yard to bring up 2nd and 9.
It's not something that's coached, I can promise you. Usually when you slow down like that and are that patient, you don't get much to show for it.
Here's a pass over the middle. Ball is out. Cooper made the catch in the fight for the ball. Saints say they have it. Cooper was close to it, and the Saints have it. A takeaway. And exactly what New Orleans needed. And let's see who punched it out. The knee of Marshawn Lattimore.
How about that? This defense has had a hard time coming away with takeaways. But the last few ball games, they have been outstanding. They had 4 last Thursday against Atlanta. And for an offense that has really been struggling and everything going in Dallas's way, to be able to give this offense a short field and change momentum, this is a big time takeaway by this Saints defense.
And the Saints say, well, we saw Ezekiel Elliott do it, and now Marshawn Lattimore is going to donate his number's worth to the Salvation Army in the Red Kettle of $23, and that's 10 takeaways for New Orleans over the last 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, and that's been the difference really for them in a lot of ways too, just like it has been for Dallas. During the 3-game win streak, the Cowboys have not turned the ball over. They've been really good, so that has played into why the offense has been more productive. The defense has created takeaways, but the Saints defensively, like you pointed out, Joe, has been really good here over the last month in that department.
Here's a throw to Thomas, had to go up to get it. And one of the game's best receivers picks up 4, brought down by Jalen Smith. And Cooper, Amari Cooper had the ball right between his arms and didn't realize it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, because clearly he had to have known the ball came out. It'd be one thing if he thought he was down by contact, but yeah.
Lattimore forced it with his knee and then recovered it. What a crazy replay. Here's a toss to Ingram running left. Mark Ingram's got a first down. Jeff Heath with the stop after a run of 13.
Saints run that jet sweep and then the toss out to Mark Ingram and get him out on the edge. They're able to seal the corner, create a running lane. It's a nice tandem that they have. You know, all Saints fans, the league knows that Mark missed the first 4 games of the season. They do a good job of splitting the carries up between those 2 guys. Almost identical rushing attempts since Ingram came back week 5.
That 13-yard play, their biggest pass is caught. Ball is out. And now they're going to rule incomplete. Thomas got on top of it anyway. Arnold had it for a moment. The call on the field is incomplete. Let's take a look.
Now they've just been, I'm not, that's a bang bang play. I don't know what they'll, it bobbles right there, and that's close. I mean, that's close to being a football move. There at the end of that, we'll see whether or not Jason Garrett decides that he wants to challenge.
Well, at the end of it, Mike Pereira, Michael Thomas recovered it. I don't think Garrett would challenge it, but Sean Payton is going to challenge it because he's going to get the yardage on the catch and the clear recovery, Mike, by Michael Thomas.
He's running the risk here, because if he loses this challenge, then he is out of challenges for the rest of the game and out of timeouts for this half.
Of an incomplete pass.
There's a bobble, but then there's the catch turning upfield. We'll see what the call is when we come back. The call on the field, incomplete. Well, the call was reversed, but there's a lot to this. And you win this little battle, you may lose the war with regard to challenges. The call is reversed to a catch, a fumble, a clear recovery by Michael Thomas as he was on top of it back at the 7. So that keeps possession, but now Sean Payton, in gaining 15 yards of field position, is out of challenges for the rest of the game.
Well, it's just how you decide to look at it. I'd say personally to pick up that yardage and be, first and goal here from the 7 in a game that you're down 10-0. I think you play for the now, and I don't disagree with it.
Here's a pass that's right through the hands of Traquan Smith, who's back after missing a game with a toe injury, and then he gets popped by Van Der Esch at the end of it. Big number 55.
Yeah, they just
Traquan Smith went into the body of Antoine Woods, who acted like he hit him hard.
Well, they've just not looked good at all. I mean, balls have not been thrown as accurately as we're used to. Too many drops. The ball is on the ground.
Ingram down to the 4, where it's 3rd and goal. Van Der Esch on the tackle. He leads the league, the rookie, coming into this week 13 in solo tackles across the entire NFL.
So I was going to say earlier, even if Sean Lee comes back, how much is he going to play? I mean, you can't take Leighton Van Der Esch off the field, the job that he has done, and then Jalen Smith has done a nice job as well. It'd be interesting to see just what Sean Lee's role is going to be when he does come back from that hamstring.
3rd down and goal. Kamara makes one man miss, but Jalen Smith does not. Went around Byron Jones, but there was big number 54 to bring up 4th down. And this has been a sure-handed tackling defense for Dallas here early.
Well, it's hard to tackle Alvin Kamara in the open field, and Byron Jones is unable to do it, but that is great pursuit by Jalen Smith, and I'm not surprised by this at all. Sean Payton is a very aggressive coach. I think right now on the road, down 10-0. This is an offense he believes in. They've got a play that he's had for this situation.
4th down and goal. Kamara does not get it. What a start for this Dallas defense as DeMarcus Lawrence makes the play. And this is a stunning start to this game.
Yeah, put Tyrone Crawford in there also. And the job that he does, you can see there's just no movement up front. Across the board, every guy defensively held their ground and just simply did not get pushed back. And that's how you win and make a stop on 4th down.
The Saints were 11 for 12 on the year on 4th down. They ran it with Kamara. DeMarcus Lawrence made the stop. And the turnover by Amari Cooper does not cost the Cowboys any points, as Elliott shows his power and lowers his shoulder for a 3-yard gain. Back to that play.
Yeah, you can take a look at it. Look, there's Tyrone Crawford in there, 98. Van Der Esch. You got the whole group that's doing a great job. And Jalen Smith, and that's really great work.
You talked about Sean Lee coming back. He is targeting next Sunday's game against the Eagles as his return. But this defense is humming right now. 2nd down and 7. 3-man rush. Prescott in trouble. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and there's Cam Jourdan. One of the best in the game. 8 sacks on the year. No gain, no sack on the play.
Well, they go empty formation, and I thought the Saints did a really good job in coverage and with time in the pocket. You get a little nervous down there as a quarterback when you're in the end zone and your clock is winding down in your head. Fortunately, Dak Prescott, he's able to then take it and get at least a little bit of yardage.
They're going to mark him down where the knee was down and place the ball at the 5, and that'll go down as the 9th sack of the year for Jourdan to bring up 3rd down and 7. The throw to the tight end. Jarwin, 1st down, and some breathing room for Dallas. Alex Anzalone got there too late. Jarwin got 12.
Well, they call it a rub and natural pick, and they are able to keep Anzalone from going with Jarwin on that play, and that's why he was so open to pick up that 1st down. It's a good design.
Cowboys are without Jeff Swaim again. Broken bone in his wrist a couple of weeks ago in the win at Atlanta. Their top tight end is a group tries to take the place of Witten. Boy, what a run. Elliott gets 4. That was a hard-earned 4 yards. Tonight, after the postgame show, Chiefs quarterback and MVP candidate Patrick Mahomes joins NFL Total Access. NFL Total Access tonight after the postgame, only on NFL Network.
Well, this is a drive that's already a win for the Cowboys. It started on the 2-yard line. You're just hoping to pick up 1 first down and give your punter some room, and now they've got some room to operate. And that last run, like you said, Joe, is heck of a job by Ezekiel Elliott.
Here's Cooper, turns upfield, has a 1st down and more. Went around Lattimore and got 19.
You see the move that Cooper, Lattimore is expecting him to turn inside, and he puts his foot in the ground and is able to take it up the sideline. This defense for the Saints that we've been talking about as to how good they've been playing in recent weeks. They're getting riddled here in this first half.
Well, they are 30th against the pass. And Prescott has had some open receivers here in the first half. Elliott right side. Good play. And it was Demario Davis who was the first one to get through and stop that play. A loss of 3. Good work by 56.
Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 black shirts there, and we've already seen one guy is not going to get Elliott to the ground. And you have to swarm and gang tackle, and what the Cowboys have been able to do is keep Brees on the sidelines, and that was the plan coming in. Stick to their formula, run the football, hit the passes when they're there. Of course, that key 4th down stop, that didn't hurt things.
2nd and 13. Prescott gonna run. Gonna get it. First down into Saints territory, and that looked like a quarterback run all the way. If it wasn't, he bailed out of there fast.
Yeah, no, you're going to see that they're going to be running receivers down the field. They're looking that they're going to help out, and he sees it open up. They're in man coverage, and whether it was a design or he just simply sees defenders with the backs to the ball. And then once the Saints had eyes on him, there's 4 guys that are unable to make a play.
High formation behind Prescott. Play action. Good protection. Elliott fights. Does he get the first down? A half-yard short. Elliott already with a career high in catches. Aaron, what are you learning down there on the sideline with New Orleans?
You guys were talking about, keeping Drew Brees on the sideline. This Saints sideline, they are shocked. They just look stunned. Everybody kind of just looking up at this Jumbotron, Joe and Troy. And finally, Max Unger just got up. Drew Brees is up. But every time Dallas gets a first down, I just saw Max Unger put his head in his hands. Somebody just waiting for their defense to make a stop here, guys.
See if they take a shot on 2nd and 1. Instead, they run it. Elliott's got the first down. Lattimore with a tackle. Both sides of the ball, a good start as the Cowboys are looking for win number 4 in a row.
So they're taking time off the clock. It's over 5.5 minutes on this drive. Excuse me, and to begin this drive on the 2-yard line, this could be quite a statement drive if they're able to continue with this and then come away with a touchdown and continue to run this clock down before the end of the half.
Rod Smith in the backfield with Prescott. He gets it. Elliott gets a breather, and Smith gets 2. Let's look at the playoff picture. In the NFC, right now the number 1 seed, the Saints, because of that win head-to-head in New Orleans against the Rams. They're the Bears at 8-3. They'll be without Trubisky again. And the Dallas Cowboys at 6-5. In the hunt. Everybody uses that phrase, in the hunt. We should be Mavericks and come up with something else, but I see it in print. I see it on other networks. I see it everywhere. Still breathing are those teams at the bottom. 2nd and 8. Toss to Smith. Davis, Onyemata, P.J. Williams, a gain of 2. 3rd down coming up. And a timeout taken by the Saints, their 2nd, to try to save some time for Drew Brees. So a big 3rd down coming up.
A big 3rd down here, and where are they? The 34-yard line, and certainly well within range to come away with 3 points if they're not able to pick up the first down.
So we'll take a break. When we come back, 3rd down for Zeke and the bunch on offense for Dallas, up 10.
Hey! Chuck Norris?
Let's take a look at tonight's quarterback comparison presented by Portal from Facebook. And the numbers are stunning on the left. With 3:04 left in the first half, Dak Prescott has been impressive. He's been on a good run. Stay tuned for the 2-minute warning for a special look at how the Long family stays in touch using Portal from Facebook. 3rd down and 7. Pass is caught. Amari Cooper for the first down. Lattimore comes away saying it was incomplete, but right now an 11-yard completion for a first down.
It's the slant route that we've seen so many times over the recent weeks from Amari Cooper, and he couldn't challenge the call after the 2 challenges already.
Yeah, so the Cowboys hurry up to the line just to make sure the Saints couldn't challenge. They can't challenge.
Right.
They're out of challenges. I don't think the call would have changed, but again, it's something to keep in mind as the rest of this game unfolds, as it was punched out by P.J. Williams and a loss of 1 on the ensuing play by Ezekiel Elliott, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. The Cowboys have a 37-point-a-game offense shutout. That's one of the biggest numbers ever, 37 points a game. And now an exclusive look at Portal from Facebook, a new way to connect with friends and family. Light. Some of the pictures from tonight. A Dallas-dominated half. A chance for more. The Saints will get the second half kickoff. What will the score be? Will the Saints get another crack at the Dallas defense here in the first half? It's 2nd and 11. Cowboys have run 37 plays to the Saints 18 plays so far in the half. Prescott, pass caught by Beasley down inside the 20. 3rd down coming up, a gain of just 4. Saints with 1 timeout.
Well, Joe, we talked about it. This drive started on the 2-yard line, and you go for it on 4th down, and you're thinking, yeah, you're going to make it, but if not, defense makes a stop. Now we've got the New Orleans Saints using a timeout here,
and they're out of timeouts. So out of timeouts for the half and out of challenges for the rest of the game. Sean Payton, who was here on Bill Parcells' staff 2003 to 2005, then went to the Saints in 2006. In his 13th year, he's the 4th longest tenured active head coach in the NFL. There's Belichick, who we'll see on Sunday. The ageless Tom Brady. They take on the Vikings. Arvin Lewis. Mike McCarthy hired 6 days before Payton in New Orleans.
We'll see what Jason Garrett decides to do. Sean Payton clearly wanting to leave time left on the clock to try to come away with points before the end of the half and then get the ball to start the second half. Will they go for 1st down here and leave time on the clock? They sure will.
Here the ball is out. Prescott cannot get on it, and a fight for it. The 15th play of the drive, and Prescott comes away with the football. And for the moment, the clock is stopped. It'll be 4th down, and Maher comes onto the field.
I tell you, that's one thing we have seen way too much of from Dak Prescott this year is him putting the ball on the ground. He's had 10 fumbles this season, and he's fortunate that he's able to get back on that and give Maher an opportunity.
That's the most in the league. The 10 fumbles now for Prescott. 46-yard try. Maher knocks it through. And with 51 seconds left in the half, the drive stalls, but Dallas, starting at their own 2, have the long drive. And they're up 13-0. Stay tuned for the Toyota halftime. Here's what's coming up.
All right, thanks, Joe. Coming up on the Toyota halftime, Terry's going to show how Dallas' defense is slowing down Drew Brees and how we will highlight Ezekiel Elliott's big first half. All this in a special message from Toyota coming up next.
Well, here in Arlington, the Austin kid, Drew Brees, is going to have potentially 51 seconds, no timeouts, to try to get the Saints on the board. And again, they get the ball to start the second half.
Well, so far as we know, the defense, what wins, defense or offense? So far, it's certainly been this Cowboys defense. They've shut down Drew Brees, and they've not given up any big plays. And that's a real strength for this Cowboys defense, that Rod Marinelli and Chris Richard, they have not given up many big plays. They're going to need some chunks here if they're going to be able to get this ball into the end zone.
Let's hear some sound from the sideline, the Dallas sideline, and DeMarcus Lawrence.
Hey, don't get satisfied. We ain't done. Never. We ain't done.
Well, they've come to play tonight, led by their defensive end. 6'3", 265, playing on a $17 million franchise tag. And they have held Drew Brees to 31 yards passing in the half. His fewest in the first half in his time with the Saints is 46. Kamara. And there's Van Der Esch. Man, he can close. And when they talk about a linebacker going sideline to sideline, that is the rookie 55.
You look at it, Joe, this is an offense that, forget the passing for a minute. They only have 62 yards here in the first half. An offense that's averaged well over 400 yards a game and has been on fire here over the last 45 weeks.
Michael Thomas, 1 catch, 4 yards, ball's out, knocked out of the hands of Brees, and he's back on it. It looked like Gregory got his hands on it. We'll see if it was. Lawrence was back there as well. And let's see who came in and swiped it out of there. It was Lawrence as he and Gregory came together on Drew Brees.
They were both there, and Brees is usually, as I said earlier, he's usually better at stepping up hard in the pocket. Those interior guys have done a good job throughout the year. Tonight, not so much, but he had room.
No Cowboys timeout. This is going to end the half as Kamara gets to the 25, and that is about as good as the Dallas Cowboys could have ever dreamed, especially defensively. 13-0, Cowboys on top. Stay tuned. The Toyota halftime is coming up.
Want to stay up to date? Hey Siri, show me football schedules.
It's up and running. Cowboys, Saints.
Elliott, touchdown Dallas. What a start for this Dallas defense.
Second half starts now.
Tonight's game flow brought to you by Progressive. 13-0 is the score at the half. The Saints about to get the ball to start the second half. Welcome back to the booth. I'm Joe Buck with the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman, and I said it going out. I'm going to say it coming back in the second half. That's about as good as the half could have gone for the Dallas defense, especially.
I think so, and yet they're only up 13-0. And you say only, Saints score 1 touchdown and they're right back into this ball game. But it's pretty amazing what the defense has been able to do, and they've gotten Drew Brees completely out of rhythm. You see, they're able to get pressure in the inside pass rush, and he's been hit. He looks like he's rushing the ball a little bit more than we've seen. And then for the Cowboys, I think Scott Linehan in this offense done a really nice job with some of the misdirection plays that we've seen with some nice results. You see there with the jet sweep, the reverse action with Cole Beasley, and then they come off of that and they run the screen game to Ezekiel Elliott. Here's another well-executed play. Looks like it's going to be a screen to the left, wide receiver screen. They come off of this, and they've got Zach Martin and then Joe Looney who make key blocks, and Ezekiel Elliott scores the touchdown. So a lot of good things there in that first half to like. We also know, Joe, that this Saints team, it's hard to imagine that this is going to continue what we saw throughout the first half.
Let's go down to the field and check in with Aaron Andrews. Hi, Aaron.
Hi. Sean Payton very calm as he walked out of the locker room. I was actually shocked about that. He said, look, and he started it that way, we weren't good on first down, we weren't good on second down, and we couldn't do anything on third down. There you have it. He said we saw a lot of man-to-man, which we thought we would. We have to be better with that coverage and find some way to establish some balance with the run game here. Also defensively, he did say a little concerned about Eli Apple and the way the Cowboys are picking on him, but he did think at the end of the first half he responded well.
Starting at the 25, down by 13 points. See what the Saints figured out at the half. Kamara out to the right. Heath can't bring down Kamara. We heard from Aaron, and now we hear from Christina Pink.
Hey, Joe, the league's #1 offense shut down. 3 first down, 59 yards of offense. And Jason Garrett telling me we're doing a great job stopping the run and affecting the quarterback. He said we kept Drew Brees out of his rhythm. We're getting our hands up, and we're just getting around him. But defensively, we have to continue playing one snap at a time on offense. He likes the mix of run and pass, but they need to be much more efficient in the red zone.
For the Saints, the 59 first half yards, the fewest since 2002. When Aaron Brooks was the quarterback and Jim Haslett was the head coach. Kamara close to first down yardage. Vander Esch is there for the tackle, and he's a half-yard short, so 3rd and half a yard coming up.
It's a pretty good assignment right there by Leighton Vander Esch. You've heard me talk about Kamara in the past. He's as good as I've seen in a long time, coming out of the backfield and running choice routes, option routes. Not an easy guy to cover, and for Leighton Vander Esch as a rookie in his size, but he does have the speed, and so a heck of a play not letting Kamara get much after that catch.
0 for 5 on 3rd down, and now Drew Brees is 4 for 4 carrying the ball and picking up a first down on 3rd down and 1 on the season. And it has been a power outage for the Saints, and here are some of the numbers. Went through the 59 total yards since Aaron Brooks was the quarterback. 39 pass yards for Drew Brees, fewest in the first half as a Saint. The first time they've been shut out first half in 72 games. It's the longest streak coming in active in the NFL. Passes caught by Thomas. Just his 2nd catch, and he's got a first down as he gets 11.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, too, the guy that they really needed to get involved after just 1 reception for 4 yards in that first half is Michael Thomas. And, you know, we've seen in recent weeks that they've been able to spread the ball around. They've gotten a lot of young guys involved. Keith Kirkwood, of course, Traquan Smith, he came on a few weeks ago, had a great game. Austin Carr. A lot of guys have stepped up in recent games. But Michael Thomas is the bell cow, and that's the guy in this type of game that they need to somehow feed.
Here's Ingram. Full head of steam on first down, and some traction for this Saints on offense. A gain of 7. Troy talked about some of those unknown guys. 4 touchdown passes to 4 different undrafted players last week. Tommy Lee Lewis, Austin Carr, a brilliant catch by Dan Arnold, and then Keith Kirkwood of 5 yards in that Thanksgiving home win against Atlanta.
I think it's a real tribute to Sean Payton and probably even more so to Drew Brees. And the way a lot of quarterbacks just simply would not have the confidence in young players like that. And we heard the report before the game. He develops those guys as good as anybody.
Brees falling as he throws it. Flag is thrown. The pass is caught by Thomas. It was Walt Anderson who threw the flag. Might have been a face mask in there, and let's see if Gregory with
Personal
that left
foul,
hand
face
got
mask,
it.
number 94, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So the Saints now making noise.
You see Randy Gregory, he's the one who looked like got hold, but it was Bushrod out there at left tackle, and he got completely spun around. He had his back to the line of scrimmage, and that is not a technique that any offensive line coach teaches.
It was a 9-yard completion to Thomas, then 15 yards on the penalty. Taysom Hill is in at quarterback. Drew Brees at the top. Some misdirection for the Saints. Kamara. And a good play by big Antoine Woods, who was back there, and he slowed down the play altogether. A gain of 2.
That's a good job by the big man. And you know what I see, Joe, is having covered the Saints this year a few different times, their misdirection stuff and the speed that they have, they play faster than defenses when we've seen them, and that just hasn't been the case. The Cowboys have just sideline to sideline have played with great effort.
Brees throws, pass broken up. Good coverage by Byron Jones on Michael Thomas. So a 3rd down and 8 for the Saints, down 13.
This defense that they've brought in, and Chris Richard the passing game coordinator from Seattle, has been a perfect fit. There's a look at Chris Richard, and pretty intense guy, but he has really helped this defense, and he calls a lot of the defensive plays. He's done a heck of a job, but Byron Jones has excelled within this system, and he's got the length that they like, and he has really taken over. That one of the best corners right now in the game.
Cowboys were trying to call a timeout, and they're going to end up with a stop on third down.
You sure were. Anthony Brown looked like he was trying to call timeout over there on the slot.
Kamara got only 5. Watch number 30. He's calling timeout. They didn't recognize it, didn't get it, and they get a stop on third down.
Yeah, they were outmanned over there.
It'll be a 33-yard try by Will Lutz, who's had a great year. Top scoring kicker in the league. 33-yard attempt is drilled. And the Saints are on the board. 10-point game. Cowboys about to get it for the first time in this second half.
For the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Football presented by Bud Light. How about that picture when the Giants went to the Super Bowl, the 2000 season? Sean Payton on the staff, Kerry Collins the quarterback, his backup Jason Garrett on the right, and there's Sean Payton, head coach of the Saints. Jason Garrett in his 8th full season, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Giants lost that Super Bowl to Trent Dilfer and the Ravens and that great defense. That's some good offensive minds in that picture as we welcome you back. And now we talk college. Tomorrow on Fox, Pac-12 champion will be crowned as number 17 Utah battles number 11 Washington. Then on Saturday, number 6 Ohio State and number 21 Northwestern go toe-to-toe for the Big Ten title. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern tomorrow and Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
You know, those years for Jason Garrett when he played for the New York Giants and when Sean Payton was the offensive coordinator, they were very impactful. A lot of his philosophy, what he gained, was from Sean Payton, along with his years in Dallas under Norv Turner and Ernie Zampese. He's been a part of some really great offensive minds, like you said.
Pass is caught by the rookie tight end Dalton Schultz. And on first down, a gain of 8. It's taken a committee to replace the great Jason Witten, the 11-time Pro Bowl tight end. You're not going to replace Jason Witten, but they've lost their top target in Jeff Swaim, and now have Jarwin, Gathers, and Schultz trying to fill those shoes.
And Schultz is not a guy. He's primarily end of the line blocking tight end, not a guy who they throw the ball to all that often.
Second down and 2. And about a yard short of a first down is Ezekiel Elliott. So 3rd and 1.
Well, you watch him, and sometimes when it looks like there's just nothing there, and next thing you know, he picks up 4 or 5 yards. And I am really amazed at the power, and you watch him finish runs, whether it's when he's running the ball or after a reception. I mean, this is a man who is really inspired to just run people over. And you see it almost every time. He doesn't take a play off.
Play clock at 7, 3rd down and 1. And with the play clock at 1, timeout.
Yeah, that this early in the second half to have to burn a timeout. No real reason for that.
Well, when you talk about the Dallas offense, you really have to begin with Ezekiel Elliott. 36.8% of the offense and their yards from scrimmage. That is number 1 in the league, and if that number were to hold up or get even higher, that would be a Cowboy franchise record. Even better than Emmett, who had 36% of your offense back in the Super Bowl year of 1995. Feel free to comment.
Well, You get guys that are capable of running the football like that.
You feed them.
And you give it to them. That's right. You feed them. Emmett didn't make the signal like Zeke, but we fed him.
And Elliott's going to feed his way to a first down. Elliott won the rushing title as a rookie in 2016. Last year, the on-again, off-again court battles and the 6-game suspension. But he comes in #1 in the NFL with over 1,000 yards rushing already in 2018.
That's pretty good. Came in, was lighter than he had been. And made more of a commitment this offseason. And like I said last week, I thought he looked a little sluggish still, even having said that. But the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's been phenomenal.
Prescott is going to go down. Ball is out, but the sack back near the 26 and a loss of 10. A.J. Klein was the first guy there, but he wasn't alone, and Prescott didn't feel that and didn't get rid of it.
Right here, you're going to see A.J. Klein, and they time it. They run a little game, and here he comes, and Prescott just simply does not see it until he's right in his lap.
Forward progress had already been called, so there wouldn't be a look at it for a fumble. But again, we talked about it a couple of times. Saints are out of challenges anyway. 2nd down and 20. Play clock is at 1. Handoff to Elliott, trying to outrun Rankins and cannot. What a play by the 3rd-year pro from Louisville, wow. Sheldon Rankins at 305 pounds.
This shows you his quickness and power and his ability to run. I mean, for a guy that big at 305 pounds to be able to cut off Ezekiel Elliott. Hey, I said it earlier, he has been awfully impressive. You know, you get guys like him at that size, primarily usually running guys, run stuffers. He's got a career-high 7 sacks already this season also.
3rd down and 20 now. Pass is caught. Amari Cooper, he won't come close. Out to the 36, and it's 4th down, a gain of 10. Anzalone was there.
You just kind of felt like after the Saints were able to go down and come away with 3 points, that this defense had to show that they could make a stop and not give up any more points of their own on that drive, and they did it, led by A.J. Klein, and that call by Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, to bring pressure. I think we'll probably see more of that, some of those type looks, some of those type run blitzes, and see if they can also get to Prescott in the passing game.
Jones hits the punt. Kamara muffs it back inside the 15. 46-yard punt. And Kamara could not haul it in. They mark it at the 12, where the Saints have it downtown.
Sacks, forcing fumbles, interceptions, anything that can wreck their game plan. Your advantage on defense is fear, and that's what he did. He put fear in his opponent. That was alive and well then and still alive and well now.
No doubt about it. You know, the franchise for the Saints goes back to 1967. The stat doesn't go back that far, but Ricky is #1 in franchise history with 115 sacks. He had brain surgery today. We understand he's resting comfortably back in New Orleans. So great news. A scary time for the Ricky Jackson family, and somebody, Troy, I know you have a lot of respect for, and somebody that you had to face when you started your NFL career in New Orleans.
Sure did. My first start was at New Orleans as a rookie back in 1989, and Ricky Jackson and Patrick Swilling and Sam Mills,
yeah.
And it was a great group, and Jim Mora was the head coach, and I thought things were going to be easy, having gone through the preseason and going 3-1 after that week 1 loss. I said maybe this league's a little tougher than I thought.
Antoine Woods came across. Was he drawn? Who's it against? Asks Walt Anderson.
Encroachment, number 99, defense, 5-yard penalty, and it's still 2nd down, just short of the line of game.
bring up second down and short with 5:11 left in this third quarter. And still for Brees, 69 yards and a quarterback rating of 69.0 on a record-setting pace in that category as well. 127.3 coming in, which would be the best ever. Second and less than a yard. Ingram gets it and got hit by Damian Wilson along the way. A gain of 2 and a first down.
Yeah, they get the first down. You look at this, Joe, and the Cowboys, we see
Zach Line
is pretty shook up as he comes over to the sidelines with Michael Ola.
He was
pretty good lick. Yeah, he was. He was staggering coming out of that pile.
Normally, Troy, you see the officials that stop play and notice it. It was Zach's teammates that were pointing back at number 42, saying he needs to get looked at.
Well, that's what will happen, and he's an awfully good player. You talked about it. He went to college here locally at Southern Methodist University, and they've been putting out a few players. Cole Beasley being another one of them.
Brees downfield and incomplete, but a flag. Thomas was the target with Byron Jones in coverage.
Looked like there might have been a hand at the end of this play. Yeah, the grab there by Byron Jones. But even with that, these are balls that Michael Thomas, he just simply does not normally miss. I mean, I'm not saying it's an easy catch.
Pass
but
interference, number 31, defense. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
They've just been a little bit off. Michael Thomas coming into this game, pretty remarkable. 88% of the time when he's targeted, he comes down with a reception. That's unheard of. I mean, that's the best completion percentage to a wide receiver since something like 2011. Normally that happens with running backs, sometimes slot receivers, but not wide receivers that line up outside like he does.
He's at 50% in this one. Brees throws and the pass broken up. Kirkwood the target, coverage by Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown, a 6th-round pick out of Purdue 2 years ago, and one of just 4 corners they list on the depth chart for the Dallas Cowboys. Tonight's game summary presented by Peloton. And there's the night for Brees. 11 of 19, 69 yards. Dak Prescott's night. And Ezekiel Elliott over 90 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown. Brees, Ingram bounces off a tackle, but can't go anywhere. As Karan Reed is out there to make the stop, and a flag is thrown on the play.
We'll sort through and see.
Holding,
there we go.
Number 74, offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
The 2-time Pro Bowler Jabon Bushrod, who is playing for the injured Teron Armstead.
There he is right there at left tackle, and it looked like maybe he pulls him down, but I tell you, the tackling by this Dallas defense has been exceptional throughout this game, and they're swarming to the football, and they're tackling well, and they have been all over these wide receivers. There just has not been a lot of places. There has not been really any easy throws yet in this game for Drew Brees.
Cowboys decline the penalty. It's 3rd down and 10, and the pass is high, incomplete, but a flag. And Michael Thomas can draw a crowd.
From where that came, it looks like it is going to go against the Cowboys
for a defensive hold.
Prior to the pass, holding number 31, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, that's a good call. He's got his hand up around his back, and as he's coming out of the break. But once again, Drew Brees is having pressure right in the middle of his face. That's been a theme throughout this game. He's so good at stepping up and avoiding the outside pressures, but at 6 foot, when you have interior pressure, no quarterback likes it to begin with, but he's really had it.
Now he's at the bottom of the screen. Taysom Hill in shotgun, number 7. He hands to Kamara to the Cowboy 49. 3 penalties on the Cowboys defense on this possession by the Saints. New Orleans trailing by 10 as 2nd and 5.
Well, this Saints offense came into the game in terms of pass plays of 20 yards or more, ranked 5th in the league. I mean, they are really good at creating big chunks. Their longest completion tonight, just 15 yards.
Kamara gets it. Van Der Esch, Smith, a gain of 3. 3rd and short coming up. That 54-55 combination at the linebacker spot for Dallas is going to be good for a long time if those two can avoid injury.
Yeah, because of the speed in their ability to pursue. In a game right now, Joe, where not only do you have to defend vertically, but laterally as well, because of all the jet sweeps and the things that we're seeing around the league. Having linebackers that can run the way these two can is a real bonus.
3rd down and 2. Ingram is smacked. Van Der Esch, a loss of 1, and it's 4th down. Tell you, Daniel Ross was in there as well. That was well played again.
I'm not sure what Unger was trying to do. Instead of him going up and taking Leighton Van Der Esch, he tries to peel back and block a guy who essentially at that time had taken himself out of the play. And Van Der Esch, a downhill physical player. The sky's the limit for him.
Here's a flag, and this is going to be against Gregory. He ran into the plant leg of Morstead, and that'll be a 1st down by penalty.
I think it's going to be roughing the punter also. Wow. Just
Personal
not smart.
Foul, roughing the kicker, number 94, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
It's a huge penalty, obviously, for the Saints and for the Dallas Cowboys, about to get the ball back, leading by 10. That is just a terrible penalty by Randy Gregory. Right into the left knee of Morstead. And this will be the 4th Cowboy penalty on this possession for the New Orleans Saints.
You see right there, use your head. Randy Gregory had a very costly penalty similar to that back in week 2 against the Seattle Seahawks.
Life.
Those tough plays get you beat.
Life for the Saints as Ingram runs into Jalen Smith, but then powers ahead. Takes it to the 29, a gain of 3.
Oh, Joe, we talked about how good this running game has been this year, and just in the last 4 games, it's a running game that was averaging over 170 yards per game. And you look at the job that Dallas has done here throughout this one. They have had to fight for every yard they've gotten. They've just got 60 yards rushing, and that's taken away a lot of the game for the Saints.
Passes through the hands of Kamara, and it's 3rd down. But with that penalty on Gregory, who the Cowboys, by the way, have stuck with through thick and thin, only 2 games played the previous 2 years with the various suspensions. Because of his penalty, the Saints are inside field goal range already as they face 3rd down.
And you see the pressure and the way that they continue to make Drew Brees move from within the pocket, and he is rushed. He's not been able to get comfortable yet in this scheme back there. They continually are having people in his face, and it is affecting his accuracy.
Brees steps into it, into the end zone. Pass is caught for the touchdown, Kirkwood. And you wonder if that penalty on Randy Gregory is going to change the entire tenor of the rest of this game.
Well, it sure could. And this is a play, when you look at it, you don't design routes like this where you have 2 receivers basically on top of each other. Kirkwood should not have gotten that wide when you've got Traquan Smith out there as well, but they get away with it, and a well-thrown ball. He makes the play, and it's a touchdown, Saints.
And a 30-yard touchdown to Keith Kirkwood on 3rd down and 7. And all of this complements a bad penalty by Randy Gregory. Saints take advantage, and we've got a 3-point game on a Thursday night.
With the NFL and Yahoo Sports apps.
Well, it's a 13-10 Dallas Cowboy lead after Drew Brees found Keith Kirkwood for a 30-yard touchdown completion on 3rd down and 7. Career touchdown pass 518 for Drew Brees, number 2 all-time. Peyton Manning, number 1 at 539. And it's 30 touchdowns on the year for Drew Brees. 10th time he's gotten to that plateau. The most ever. And this is a ball game. Let's take a look at that play and bring Mike Pereira in. Was there a push off here on the touchdown?
You know, Joe, I think there is, because he extends the arm, and watch how Brown reacts. So to me, it gives Kirkwood the cushion that he needs to make the catch. And that's why I know these are tough and they're easy to see in slow motion, but I think extended arm and separation creates enough for offensive pass interference.
Well, it's a big no call, as Jason Garrett pleads his case as well. They didn't see it, or they didn't think it was enough. And it's a 3-point Dallas lead. Prescott finds Cooper on 1st down. And Amari Cooper is good for 5 as he's forced out by Lattimore. And that gets us under a minute left in quarter number 3, and Prescott now has 15 consecutive completions. That's a personal best for him in a single game. Here's Elliott. Flag on the play. And the play is made by Demario Davis. Here's the call.
Holding number 76, offense, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's Xavier Suafilo, who's taken over at left guard.
And number 76 there, you're going to see him he just gets beat, and he does have a tendency at times. He's played well, and he really has solidified that left guard position for Connor Williams, the rookie, and overall he's done a really nice job, and his taking over the position coincided with the 3-game 100-yard rushing days that Ezekiel Elliott has had, but he occasionally will get his feet out of position, and invariably when you get caught holding, that's a big result of it, just because you get lazy with your feet and out of position.
2nd down and 15. Prescott throws, pass is caught, short gain by Elliott. And well played by this Saints defense as the 3rd quarter is rapidly coming to a close. And the play is made again by Von Bell. Big one in the NFC. A team that's won 10 straight, trailing the team that's won 3 straight by 3.
I didn't used to believe in monsters, but I do now.
Dominated by Dallas, it has a much different feel now. Not just a 3-point game, but all the momentum with New Orleans. Dallas not able to move it much in this 2nd half. They have only 1 first down in this half. 3rd down and 13. Elliott, long way to go, and comes up short. So Drew Brees about to get it back as the defense of the Saints does good work to force the punt.
A couple scores the last time they've had the ball, and they've gotten right back into this, and now they're putting the pressure right back onto the Dallas Cowboys, and penalties obviously being a big factor. The one on Randy Gregory that allowed them to come away with that touchdown. And then even on Suafilo, the left guard, backed them up a little bit. They were in manageable third down situation prior to that. Too much to overcome, and now the Saints will get another chance.
Not a pretty punt. Takes a Dallas bounce, and Kamara, pretty good return. Out of bounds at the 34. Yard in his first year coaching the DBs here with the Cowboys from the sidelines.
Now, the cool part is we get to come back and recover. All right? Because we gave them 7 points. 2 penalties on that drive. 2 penalties on that drive.
2 big penalties by the secondary, but the biggest against Randy Gregory last time the Saints had it. And New Orleans, like all good teams do, took advantage. Here's Thomas with a catch. Awuzie is on him, and a first down, a gain of 11.
Yeah, that's really the first time tonight that I've seen Brees come back and cut it loose, and Thomas was not anywhere near to coming out of this break when the ball was thrown. And it's good coverage, but you just simply cannot cover those types of routes working back towards the sideline when the ball's thrown on time like that was.
Here's Kamara. Van Der Esch, another tackle, a gain of 3. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Kamara, boy, we see him each week rattle off 10, 15, 20-yard runs. His longest run tonight, just 7 yards. And you keep waiting to see if maybe there's going to be a crack. This is the time of the game where those things would start to happen. But this defense has just been rock solid against the run.
Here's Kamara. Van Der Esch couldn't get to him. Kamara gets to midfield. As Larry Warford, a Pro Bowler, was out there making sure that Van Der Esch couldn't get to Kamara. A gain of just 2. Heath on the stop. 3rd and 5. Two for 9 on 3rd down are the Saints. Smith coming on the blitz. Lawrence got there. Flag is thrown. The ball is out. And recovered by Tyrone Crawford. But a flag is down on the play. DeMarcus Lawrence was in there, made the play. Here's the call.
Offside, number 94, defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
So this is basically a pre-snap penalty on Randy Gregory, who is, well, he's committed 2 huge fouls.
They're not kidding, just not getting lined up properly. And then what great execution by the Cowboys. They bring Jalen Smith. He ties up a blocker. It frees up DeMarcus Lawrence coming around the edge. And you see Rod Marinelli not happy about it at all, but you've got to believe that if, it's too easy to see if you're the official. He's got to be lined up in that zone, and no real excuse for that.
Well, the ball is at the 45. They're going to bring the chains out and measure to see if it's enough for a first down. Here's another look at it.
There he is right here.
I don't know, Mike Pereira, bring you in. We see worse than that not called. Do you agree with that call?
Well, he actually had to reach the solid line. You can't look at the blue line there to determine. To me, it's certainly close enough that you see why it is called. He's in the neutral zone, and one of those that sometimes does get called and that doesn't.
Well, Randy Gregory, who came in 2 sacks over the last 3 games, had arthroscopic knee surgery earlier in the season. As I said, multiple drug suspensions during the course of his pro career. This has been a nightmare for him the last 2 times that the Saints have had the football, and he's created that nightmare.
It sure has. They've made stops. They've made stops where the offense is going to get the ball back, only to have penalties and continue to keep drives alive. And now with 3rd and short, we'll see what they do here.
6 Dallas defensive penalties in this half. They run it. Kamara gets it. And a big first down for the Saints. Awuzie on the tackle after a gain of 2. And instead of a takeaway, because of the pre-snap penalty, in essence, on Gregory lined up in the neutral zone, the Saints end up with a first down inside the Dallas 45 at the 43. Blitz off the edge, and Brown got there for the sack. His 2nd of the year. A loss of 8.
They've been able to get home with some of these looks, and I think Brees saw it coming. He's trying to then get to the right and avoid that, but no one for the Saints. Kamara's coming out of the backfield. He's running up the field. There just was nobody within the route that was looking for the ball, but still, you know, once Brees gets outside the pocket, he very easily could have just thrown it away.
2nd sack. Saints came in having allowed only 11 all season, tied for the fewest in the league with the Colts. More pressure. Van Der Esch is on the back of Ingram. A gain of 1, and that kid can play.
Yeah, he can, and he can tackle. You just do not see him miss tackles very often. I know in the Atlanta game a couple weeks ago he missed a couple, but it is rare to see him miss tackles in space, and that is not easy to do against the guys that he's been facing with tonight. Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara, they're as challenging as they come, and yet he's done it down after down.
10 tackles in the game. 3rd down and 17. Setting up a screen for Kamara. Good pursuit, and Jalen Smith delivers the blow, and Kamara a bit staggered after that hit. 4th down.
And Sean Payton, he's over there talking to the official about it right now. He clearly took a big hit at the end of this, and that's a lead to the helmet, and there's a call that should have been easy to make.
Mike Pereira, that should have been called.
Yeah, we haven't seen many called this year, but that's a clear example of leading with the crown of the helmet.
The punt by Morstead. Beasley stays away, and the ball stays out of the end zone as the officials look at each other. They have not made the call yet. Dwayne Washington downed it. Did it hit the line? It's either at the 1 inch or the 20. It's at the 1 inch. What a play.
Yeah, and did any part.
Atlantis is a 3-point game. Dallas with the ball. And on top by 3. Here's the missed call on the hit by Jalen Smith. Helmet to helmet to Alvin Kamara. Don't know how they missed that, but they did. And now that punt by Morstead is during the break. It was deemed that Washington had his left hand on the goal line, so out to the 20, and the punt nets only 22 yards. Here's Elliott. This is a time where Ezekiel Elliott tends to go off and take over games. We'll see now, paired up against this good Saints rushing defense. Dallas in this second half, before that carry, only 27 yards and 1 first down in the half.
I think you look at this drive right here, Joe, and Dallas is, as you see, Dak Prescott 17 straight completions, which is a single game Cowboy record.
Here's Cooper. First down, 2nd of the half by Dallas.
But here we are, 8.5 minutes to play in the game. You've got a 3-point lead, and and good offenses, and the Cowboys, especially here after the last 3 weeks, feel like they're becoming a really good offensive football team. Good offenses drive the ball down the field. They come away with a touchdown. They make it a 2-possession game, and they put the game away. And we'll see whether or not they're able to do that. But clearly, Ezekiel Elliott's going to be a big part of that formula.
Here he is, back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. A.J. Klein was there, and so was David Onyemata. Tonight after the postgame show, Chiefs quarterback and MVP candidate Patrick Mahomes. First year as a starter has made it look easy. 37 touchdowns. He joins NFL Total Access tonight after the postgame only on NFL Network. And we will see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in 2 weeks on Thursday Night Football against the LA Chargers in Kansas City, Missouri.
Can't wait for that one.
2nd and 10. Prescott down the sideline. Gallup overthrown. And now it's 3rd down and 10 for the 6-5 Dallas Cowboys, who are on top in the NFC East, tied with Washington. Philly takes on the Redskins this week. Dallas is trying to stay ahead of their divisional rivals, the Redskins and the Eagles, as they lead here by 3.
Well, this would be a huge win, as we know. And then, of course, Monday night with the Eagles and Redskins squaring off. But even if the Cowboys were to lose, I still think they're in the driver's seat when you look at the East.
Prescott in trouble, steps through trouble, will try to run. What a run for the first down. That last tackle was missed by Lattimore, and Dak Prescott determined to get the first down.
Well, a lot of guys had opportunities. A.J. Klein, he was there as a linebacker. You'd expect him to be able to make that play. Lattimore, a little tougher task for him. But what determination there by Dak Prescott, showing how difficult he is to get to the ground.
He needed 10, he got 11, and he had to go through Saints defenders to get it. Want to throw it on first down. Prescott has a man. Overthrew Michael Gallup, who would have walked into the end zone.
You see Dak Prescott's look, and there's the hitch and go, and he scored a touchdown earlier in the year against the Redskins on the exact same play. You just get it anywhere near him, and maybe you don't necessarily score, but it's a huge gain, and then you're in scoring position. But sometimes you get a guy that wide open, it is a tougher throw than you can imagine, but just didn't put any air under that at all.
Eli Apple, who's been picked on, certainly was in the first half, bit on that double move and lives to tell about it. And now with the play clock at 1, the Cowboys are down to 1 timeout, and they face 2nd and 10 when we come back. Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light. 13-10. Dallas led 13-0. Saints put up the last 10. 2nd and 10 for the Cowboys. They fake the handoff, throw it to Gallup. Well played by this Saints defense as Gallup fights his way near the 50. Cam Jourdan, the big defensive end, out there to help on the stop, a gain of 5.
Well, made things a little bit easier for that Saints defense with Amari Cooper over on the sidelines. Wasn't on the field on that play. They got him in there now here on a big 3rd down.
Four-man rush. Prescott throws for Beasley. Pass caught. The lunge for the first down. And Beasley got every inch out of that he could, and he gets up limping. That's a big conversion.
And we'll see, and he might have been a little short of that first down.
It doesn't matter because they can't challenge.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That I was going to say that, Joe, that it doesn't matter that they can't challenge the call, but I think if you look at it right there, where the knee went down, that he's definitely short. So the challenges from the first half by Sean Payton come into play here on this critical third down.
On first down, Elliott cuts back. Inside the 30, inside the 25. His biggest of the night. 21 yards for 21.
There's a great look at it, and the patience and then the burst that we've just talked about throughout this game, and his ability to just buy some time and then wait for the hole to develop. And then once that happens, he's hard as heck to get onto the ground. This is a drive that we've talked about, and now the Saints clearly needing to make a stop and just give up 3 points.
That's the longest run by either team tonight, as Elliott, little juggle as he got it with a football, got 2, and Demario Davis, who we said a couple of weeks ago has been a huge addition to this defense, the former New York Jet. A couple of times over, made the stop.
Really good player, a sideline to sideline guy, and can cover really well. He's been a really great addition to this defense.
Ezekiel Elliott out of there. Rod Smith is in the slot. The other running back the Cowboys have on 2nd and 8. Prescott might have lost a yard. Third down coming. And now timeout is taken. And you see a missed face mask. No flag on the field, but the officials are getting together.
New Orleans, 3:38 on the game.
And they're not calling a penalty as they just missed a face mask. And all they're saying is the Saints have used their first timeout.
Yeah, and they showed it on this 60-yard jumbotron they have hanging from the center of the stadium, and you heard the fan reaction to it.
Mike?
No, it's tough. This is the most experienced crew in the NFL. Almost 140 years of experience between the 7 of them. And you have to clearly feel that they certainly have not had their best game.
Well, they missed the helmet-to-helmet hit on Jalen Smith to Kamara, and they just missed that face mask, which would have been a huge first down for Dallas.
Well, now what's Dennis Allen going to do? He's got to defend a lot of parts. Ezekiel Elliott, of course, Dak Prescott and his ability to run, Amari Cooper and Cole Beasley, and here they come.
They have 6 sacks in the game. Prescott just heaves it in the air. Flag is down. And this could be against the Saints as Walt Anderson makes the motion as if there was a hit high to the face by a Saint.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 24. Defense, 15-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal. First down.
And there's no doubt about this call on Von Bell.
No, an easy call to make. Easy call. And, you know, hey, I don't understand. You know, sometimes you just can't help it. But some of these penalties on these players, you just wonder where is their head.
And so now we've seen really a brutal play and penalty on each side. The Randy Gregory play for Dallas, and now that by Von Bell. Instead of 4th down, it's 1st down at the 11. Elliott, Demario Davis, and Elliott spun for a gain of 1. And the second timeout is used by the Saints. Fox Sunday doubleheader, starting with the Bears taking on the Giants and Saquon Barkley against that good Chicago defense. And America's game of the week, Kirk Cousins and the Vikings coming off that win against Green Bay, taking on Tom Brady and the Patriots. New England, a big rushing day against the Jets last week. It's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app, and we'll be in Foxborough for this matchup of Brady and Cousins at 4 Eastern right here.
That was a big win for Kirk Cousins against Green Bay. A lot of pressure on him to have a signature win, if you will. And as you move through the season, as all quarterbacks know, the pressure only increases. And he's got his work cut out for him, as does Mike Zimmer and the rest of that team going into New England to try to take on the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and we saw them earlier in the year. They were struggling a little bit, but they're right back where we thought they would be and sitting in a pretty good position.
Staring at another first-round bye. They're used to that. 2nd down and 9. 13th play of this drive. Fake toss. Gallup looking for blocks, and he on the body of Onyemata will get 4 yards, and another 3rd down coming up, and we'll see if Sean Payton wants to use the Saints' final timeout. No indication now, and
no, he'll let this one run, and then he can keep a timeout, let it go down to the 2-minute warning if in fact they're able to make a stop.
3rd down and 5. Cooper was on the sideline on 2nd down. He's lined up in the slot here on 3rd down. Prescott. Flag is down, ball is out. And this could be, well, we'll just wait and see who comes away with it. And the indication is New Orleans, I believe.
On the field is a fumble recovered by New Orleans.
Wow. They get a hold on La'el Collins, and that's against Cam Jourdan. And that's an easy one there. That's the flag. But this is Prescott, and I talked about it. You've got to be more secure with the ball when you have it in your hands in these situations when you're giving up points if the ball's loose.
It's the 2nd fumble by Prescott in the game, his 11th of the season, and the 7th sack for this Saints defense. And here comes Drew Brees. 2.5 to go, down 3.
Alexa, find dramas.
Wait, why are you speaking like that?
Alexa, scroll right.
You do know that Alexa understands normal voice?
I know, but when you want to watch dramas, you need to get into the mood.
No, you don't. That's not a real thing.
Alexa, play Ray Donovan.
There's a doctor at Sloan Kettering.
Does the doctor have a name?
Sharon Bergstein. She's a neurosurgeon.
You know you're a weird guy, right?
I know.
Give joy, get joy at Kohl's Friends and Family Sale. Take an extra 25% off only once a year. Save on outerwear, family boots, and toys. Plus, get Kohl's Cash. And snap a free picture with Santa this weekend at Kohl's. Give joy, get joy at Kohl's.
I'm Ken Jacobus, and I switched to the Spark Cash Card from Capital One. I earn unlimited 2% cash back on everything I buy. And last year, I earned $36,000 in cash back, which I used to offer health insurance to my employees. What's in your wallet?
Take your razor, yep. Up and down, never side to side, Shaquem, you got it? Come on, stay focused.
Hard work, baby. Gonna pay off.
Turn up the size and turn down the price with 3 large pancakes for 89 cents at Burger King. Stacks on stacks of sweet, syrupy goodness with fluff that's more than enough. Get 3 large pancakes for just 89 cents, only at Burger King.
Welcome back to the Orville.
Oh my God.
All hands, begin prepping all stations for first contact.
I am capable of causing you great pain, Captain.
Oh, wow.
Khalil Mack leads the Bears against the Giants. Then in America's Game of the Week, a showdown in New England awaits as the Vikings battle Tom Brady and the Patriots. It all starts with Fox NFL kickoff, followed by a huge doubleheader Sunday on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
The Passage, coming this January to Fox.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light. Cam Jourdan on that last play forced the hold, got the sack, forced the fumble, recovered the fumble. He just hit a grand slam and has 2 of the Saints' 7 sacks in the game. Brees throws, Thomas with a catch to the 20. 1 timeout for the Saints, and obviously the stop of the 2-minute warning as Jalen Smith makes the tackle.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 20 seconds for Drew Brees is a lifetime.
Brees almost, and he is picked by Jourdan Lewis. Kamara was the target, and Jourdan Lewis picks a fine time for his first interception as he got it off the top of the turf.
Yeah, and again, it's due to the pressure that is in his face. Malik Collins, number 96, is the one who comes around and gets in the face. We've seen that over and over, the inside pressure on Brees. He's not handled that well at all. I'm not sure what he was trying to do really with this throw.
It's a turnover play, so it gets looked at. The call is interception on the field, and Mike Pereira, I certainly haven't seen anything that would change that call. Have you?
I haven't either. The ball does touch the ground, but he had control first, so I'm sure that at this point of the game that they will review it, which it now does look like they are going to do. And but to me, I think it will probably stay as an interception.
And the first for Jourdan Lewis.
Well, Sean Payton cannot believe it. This has been a rough game for them all the way around. The good news right now for the Saints, if there is any, is the fact that there's 2:08 left. They still have a timeout, and they still have the 2-minute warning. And so there's a chance that if they can come up with a stop, they could get the ball back.
Well, the Saints defense had 6 sacks a week ago against Atlanta, 7 in this one, and they're going to have to do some kind of work to get the ball back to Brees. As they have held, the Cowboys have, the Saints to 10 points in this ball game. Who saw that coming? But this is the number 3 scoring defense in the league coming in. And to me, if the Dallas Cowboys win this game, they won it with their defense.
Well, they've won all games pretty much this year with their defense. Jacksonville, the offense scored 40, but if this defense had not been as good as they've been this year, this game really would not have even had much importance. They kept this team in a lot of games and allowed them to win when an offense was struggling, but now,
after reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Interception.
Well, this offense has continued to get better, and hey, we talked about it. Regardless of whatever happens, this defense has played great. They had heard all week long about the Saints. Nobody was talking about how good they were and what the Saints were having to deal with. And we heard the report earlier, the talk that Jason Garrett gave to the team last night. Well, how much of an impact does that have? I don't know. But this defense has come out and played its best game of the year.
That's only the 3rd interception of the season thrown by Drew Brees. And a timeout taken by the Saints on this side of the 2-minute warning on a 2-yard carry by Ezekiel Elliott. Jourdan Lewis, a 3rd-round pick from Michigan. But they have just overwhelmed at times this, and it has been a scoring machine on offense for the Saints here tonight.
Well, here's why. The pressure that they've been able to get on Drew Brees in his face. I've said it throughout this game. If it's just coming off the edge and the interior is secure where he can step up, he manages that very well. But when it's in your face, no quarterback likes it. But for him at 6 foot, he has a much tougher time than being able to see where to go with the ball. The interception that he had last Thursday night on Thanksgiving against Atlanta was the same situation. He had pressure in his face, makes an errant throw, uncharacteristic of him, that gets intercepted. Now, it wasn't a factor in that ball game. They had a pretty sizable lead. But the throw that Jourdan Lewis intercepted there, I don't even know if he saw what he was trying to do. The ball just had no chance of a completion.
Cowboys get a 1st down. This game's over. How about a touchdown? Instead, it's off the right hand of Cooper, and a flag with the coverage by Lattimore. Mike Pereira, I'm glad you're with us.
Pass interference, number 23, defense. The foul occurred in the end zone. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Can I disappear for a little while?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously you see the same thing we do. That didn't look like pass interference.
I think he actually does grab the inside arm, and that's what the back judge would be looking at it. And if we get a shot from the inside after we come back, maybe we'll see that inside grab.
Well, it'll be first and goal from the 1. They're out of timeouts. The game's on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Here's another look, and Mike Pereira, you agree with the call?
I do. You know, it's when you see one hand go up to try to catch the ball, you look down at the inside arm. He actually has a grab up with both hands, and I do think it's the correct call.
Well, with no timeouts, the Dallas Cowboys are just sealing this victory. That was a big first down because of the penalty. That was a second down throw, and Brees figured to get the ball back if they don't end up with a touchdown.
You know, I think that you look at this, Joe. Sean Payton called the timeout in front of the 2-minute warning. So the Cowboys, if he had run that down to the 2-minute warning, more than likely they would have run the ball, you know, to force him to use his last timeout and all that. And in their minds, they've got a free play to take a shot, that the pass really wasn't going to affect anything because of the 2-minute warning. You just wonder how much that factored into the decision then by Linehan and Jason Garrett to take the shot. Because I don't know that they do that if they'd let it run down the 2-minute warning.
Here's tonight's precision play of the game, presented by Gillette. And I guess fittingly, it's this last effort by the Cowboys defense as Jourdan Lewis gets his first pick. And this Cowboys team are wrapping up their biggest win of the season. That nod to Cowboy offensive lines of years gone by, as they just shut down the league's premier scoring machine and upset the Saints. As the Dallas Cowboys get a home win and they go to 7-5. And this was some effort tonight by Jason Garrett's team and by Rod Marinelli's defense.
Sure was. Now they've won 4 in a row, and you look at who those teams were against, Joe. They won on the road primetime against Philadelphia. They then had to go to Atlanta. They won that game. They come back here on Thanksgiving, but this was the big test against this Saints juggernaut that had been playing as well as anybody in football. And to be able to win a game like this and the defense to hold them to 13 or to 10 points is really something. And they can build on this one.
Big win by Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Coming up next, the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show, as the Dallas Cowboys win it 13-10. And thanks for watching Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light.